Hey everyone, today's lesson is on congruent figures. These are your guided notes for it. So throughout the video you might see this pop up, which means you need to pause the video and write down this in your notes. So let's get started. So the first thing we need to know about congruent figures is that congruent figures are two figures that are the same shape and the same size. So in order to find out if they're the same shape and same size, they need to have angles that are the same degrees. So in these two shapes here, we have angle A and angle X are the same degrees. We have angle B and angle Y are the same degrees. And we have angle C and angle Z are the same degrees. So these two triangles have all the same angles. The triangle is just rotated around. Another thing that they have to have is sides that are the same length. So if you look at the two triangles again, we have this side that is the length of 6, and on the other triangle we have a side that is the length of 6. Then we have a side that's the length of 10, and a side that's the length of 10, and then a side that's the length of 12, and a side that's the length of 12. So all of the sides have a matching pair, and then they all have matching angles as well. So these two triangles are congruent. They are the same size and same shape. They are just rotated around in a different orientation. So please pause the video here and write down what's in the yellow box here. And if you want to draw the picture, you can, and I'll wait for you to do that. All right, the next thing we have is corresponding sides. And corresponding sides are sides of the shapes that are the same length. And the sides are represented or shown by using tick marks on our shapes to show that they are the same length. So here's an example of what it looks like. Both of these sides are the same length, so they each have one tick mark on them because they're the same. These two sides have two tick marks on it because any side that has the two tick marks would be the same length. And then we have the smallest side that has 3 tick marks, and this one has 3 tick marks as well, so we know that these two are the same length as well. The tick marks could be in any order, but the matching side lengths have to have the same tick marks. So please pause the video here and write down the corresponding sides in your notes. And we will move on. The next thing we have is corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are angles that are the same degrees. They help create the same shape. So if these triangles didn't have the same degree angles, they wouldn't be the same size, or they wouldn't be the same shape of triangle. And we represent corresponding angles by using arcs. And I'll show you an example of that. So here we have an arc showing this angle degree, and the matching angle degree also has one arc. Just like the ticks, it just has one. The next one is going to have 2 arcs, and the corresponding angle is also going to have 2 arcs because of the same degrees. And then the last one is going to have 3 arcs, and then its corresponding angle is going to have 3 arcs. So having the arcs will show you that it's the same angle degree. So please pause the video here and write down what corresponding angles are in your notes. And we'll move on to some examples. So the first example is we need to list the corresponding sides and the corresponding angles. We are going to start with the sides. So the first one we have is this side here, which is angle AB, and the corresponding side for this one is going to be J and K. So we write that by putting it like that. The next corresponding side would be B to C, and its corresponding side would be K to L. And we write that like that. The next corresponding side is L, or is C to D, and its corresponding side would be then L to M. And then the last one is D back to A, and its corresponding side is M to J. So now that we have the corresponding sides done, we did every side, now we're going to move on to the angles. So the first angle we have is angle A, which is equal to angle J. And then we have angle B, which is equal to angle K. And then we're going to have angle C with angle L. And then the last one is angle D and angle M. So if it's asking you to list the corresponding sides and angles, you're going to put down the angles just like they have right here. All right, on the next one we have, are the two figures congruent? And we need to explain our answer. So when I'm looking at these two shapes here, the one thing I can notice right away is that I have angles that are matching. These are both rectangles, so every angle is 90 degrees, which means do they have matching angles, which is yes, they do. But then when I'm looking at the numbers, if I look at the shorter side of this rectangle, I have a 10. And then the shorter side here is an 8. The longer side is a 15. And this longer side is a 12. So they don't have the same, they're not the same size, but they are the same shape. So the way that I would write this is no, these shapes are not congruent. They are the same shape, they're both rectangles, but they are not the same size. So it means they are not congruent. And the last example we have is we have two shapes, and they're telling us that these two shapes are congruent. They give us some of the one side, some of one of the shapes, but not the other shape. So it says, what is the length of KL? So if I look at KL right here, and I want to know what the length of it is, I need to find the matching side to it. So if I'm looking at them, KL looks like it's the shortest side, and if I look on this one, the shortest side is 6. So I would say that the length of KL would be 6 feet. The next one is saying that if the side of CD is congruent to AB, what is the length of LM? So the last thing I need to know is what is the length of LM? So I want to find this length. And if I look at the other shape, the corresponding side of LM is CD, but they don't give us a length of CD. But earlier in the question it says that CD is congruent to AB, so I have CD, and then I have AB, and these two sides are congruent, which means they are the same. So all of the shapes that I have that teal line on is going to be the same length as AB. So that means that CD is going to be 8 feet. That was really bad. And LM is also going to be 8 feet. So what is the side length of LM? That would be 8 feet. So for your assignment today, you're going to have some questions that are similar to the ones that we just went over, similar to these examples. Make sure that you're using your notes to make sure that you're answering the questions correctly, and make sure you're answering the questions in the similar way that we've been answering them on this video. If you have any questions, you could always email me, send me a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon.